It's that time of the year where we look back on the year and look ahead to the next one. Here's our Austin correspondent Wes Rappaport with a recap of the top stories of 2020 and a preview of what 2021 may bring at the state capitol.
You can't talk about 2020 without mentioning the pandemic.
I am, at this moment, declaring a state disaster for all counties in the state of Texas.
More than 25,000 Texans died from COVID-19. More than 1.3 million were infected with the virus, and more than 6 million Texans filed for unemployment. Then came the death of George Floyd in May, sparking protests nationwide calling for social justice.
Emotions and tempers are really high.
It was also an election year, intensely fought battles at the local, state, and national level.
The big underlying story of 2020, aside from the fact that Joe Biden won the presidency and that in Texas we saw a very status quo election, is the damage that was done to people's trust in the system.
The conversations will continue on those top issues at the Texas Capitol in the new year, looking at the major policy priorities in 2021, of course, pandemic response and health care, setting the state's budget for the next 2 years, that's required by the Texas Constitution, criminal justice reform, and redrawing of the legislative districts. This happens once every decade.
Redistricting has huge implications for the way the political system works in Texas.
With COVID-19 vaccines shared statewide, state health leaders say there's reason to be hopeful, but lawmakers will be tasked with carrying the state's pandemic response forward, capitalizing on lessons learned.
This is the ray of hope at the end of the tunnel, but we're not done yet.
Wes Rappaport, KTSM 9.